Medicaid, and the major problems we're now facing. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, Medicaid is a very, very important program that millions upon millions of low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries rely on every single month. However, there are some major problems with Medicaid that I want to point out for you here in this video based on a couple new reports that were just released. So let's get into it and discuss all that, but really quickly, I want to clarify, I'm specifically talking about Medicaid, not Medicare. A huge difference between these two programs, but again, I want to make that very clear. Medicaid, not Medicare. All right, let's get into it and talk about it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching all this new information hitting the wire, doing the necessary research, and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on, and most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course, anything showing up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low-income or fixed-income beneficiary. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and also remember, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and as always, that's my promise to you and everybody right here in the community. All right, thanks again. Let's get into it and talk about the new reports that were just released on Medicaid and the major problems that are brewing out there right now, as there's a lot going on. Things are changing and changing very rapidly at that. So I want to bring up to speed on what's happening here because things have transpired here very quickly over the last couple months, and I need to bring that to your attention. All right, so like I said, obviously, if you're a low-income or fixed-income beneficiary, you're probably enrolled in one of the two, Medicare or Medicaid. And like I said, this is not about Medicare, but rather this is about Medicaid. But here's the statistics behind this. And again, stick with me here because I'm going to go through a number of different reports and statistics, but there's a major kind of issue going on here. So here's what's going on. As of right now, according to these reports, there are 98 million people enrolled on Medicaid. Now, is that the problem? No, that's not necessarily the problem. However, I will get through the details here of the problem that's actually pointed out here in these reports. So they're actually anticipating within the next couple weeks here, we're going to eclipse 100 million people enrolled on Medicaid in the United States. Now, let me tell you some statistics behind this really quickly. Right now in the United States, the population is about 333 million people. Now, obviously, give or take a few 100,000 or maybe even a couple million there, but 333 million people. So basically, almost 1 out of every 3 people out there in the country right now are enrolled in Medicaid. Okay, so again, that's not the problem. However, because of everything going on right now and because of the public health emergency declaration that is currently in place, which by the way, this was put in place way back in January of 2020. So it's been in place for a very long time now, and they continue to extend it out. As of right now, it's extended out for a few more months. So as a result of that, we have a few more months of this where this Medicaid is going to be in place, as in basically what happens is that pretty much anybody that enrolls in Medicaid right now is pretty much accepted into it. Now, again, that's not necessarily a blanket statement, but that's basically what's going on right now because of the public health emergency declaration being in place, like I said, since January of 2020. Basically what's happening is the state kind of Medicaid agencies are pretty much allowing anybody to come in because that's kind of the rules that they put in place with the public health emergency declaration. Now, as a result of that being in place, they're basically not going through the roles of people that are on Medicaid and basically saying, okay, this person is no longer eligible, they're no longer going to be enrolled in Medicaid, things like that. They're basically just keeping everybody on Medicaid. Now, here's the deal with this. The reports actually go on to show that about 21 million of the 98 million people that are enrolled right now are actually not even eligible. So what they're basically saying is that a huge percentage, about 21% of those individuals that are enrolled in Medicaid actually are not even eligible for the benefits as of right now. But because of the public health emergency declaration in place, they are not being removed from the Medicaid program, which is basically putting a huge financial strain on this program, especially for the people who actually need these benefits, like the low income and fixed income beneficiaries. Now, again, I'm not here to say that anybody should be disenrolled or taken off or not enrolled for benefits, things like that. I am not the one to say that. I'm just simply telling you, these are what the reports are saying out there. Now, another thing too, there's 25 different governors all across the country right now who are calling on the public health emergency declaration to be ended so that this can actually be shored up, because what this is happening is a huge financial expenses coming on as a result of people that are, maybe on Medicaid that technically aren't eligible because their income is way too high, but yet as of right now, they are not disenrolled from the program. And again, I'm not here to tell you who should be included or who should not be included. I'm just simply telling you this is what's going on right now as a result of these reports that are out there. And again, remember, for those individuals that are actually enrolled in these programs that need the benefits and who are actually needing these services provided by Medicaid, again, it's not exactly the best thing, because then we have all these people out there who need these services, and then again, it's kind of all coming full circle here. So that's what's actually going on. Now, they're actually anticipating as well, as a result of the public health emergency declaration being in place, when this eventually ends, and again, I've said this before in other videos, eventually when the public health emergency declaration ends, it's either going to expire and or they're going to cancel it. At some point, they will do that. When? Not really sure, right? They keep extending it out. But someday when that happens, these reports are suggesting that anywhere between about 5.3 and 14.2 million people will be losing benefits pretty much simultaneously from Medicaid. Wow, that's a lot, right? Now, one more thing that I want to point out. I do know that there are a lot of you here in the community that are enrolled in programs like Social Security, SSDI, retirement, survivors, SSI, VA, things like this. Now, here's what I want to say about that. If you are somebody enrolled probably in Social Security, SSDI, retirement benefits, things like this, you're probably receiving Medicare. Now, here's the thing. If you're enrolled in those benefits, you probably don't have a whole lot to worry about as far as this, simply because Medicare and Medicaid are two very different programs. However, like I said, this is specifically focused on Medicaid. However, if you're enrolled in SSI, you've basically already gone through the qualification process. They've already looked at your situation and say, okay, yeah, based on your asset levels, based on your income, based on these other factors, you're pretty much enrolled in, well, you are eligible for Medicaid. And at that point, I wouldn't worry at all about you potentially losing benefits. I would not say that at all. Now, again, I don't know everybody's situation. I can't guarantee anything because everybody's situation is very different. I'm just simply telling you, if you're enrolled in some of these programs, you're probably fine. There's probably not a whole lot to worry about. It's what's happening here is the individuals that are enrolling in Medicaid right now, because they know there's a major loophole, and why not take advantage of it, right? And that's what a lot of people are doing right now, is because you can't be basically removed or disenrolled. Some people are just saying, hey, why wouldn't I just enroll in this, right? Why wouldn't I take advantage of it for at least a few months? Because pretty much if you apply, you're pretty much granted benefits, right? So a lot of people are seeing this major loophole right now and taking advantage of that because they know that this is a great way to, potentially get some kind of coverage of that. And then, eventually it will end, but why not ride the train while it's still going, right? So anyway, I am not here also, by the way, I'm not here to say this is what somebody should actually do. I'm just saying this is what's going on, and this is what the reports are actually pointing out. So kind of a major problem here with Medicaid. And again, like I said, 25 different governors are calling on them to actually end the public health emergency declaration because they also see this major problem that is happening. And again, this is all being reflected on the low income and those fixed income beneficiaries who actually need these coverages. And like I said, 21 million people have incomes that are way too high to actually be enrolled in this in the first place, right? So this is what the reports are actually showing, and this is kind of a little bit a glimpse into what is going on with Medicaid and some of the major problems out there right now. So again, this is all being federally funded, but at the end of the day, it's going to stop at some point, right? When? We don't know. As of right now, the public health emergency declaration is still going to be in place for a bit longer. But like I've been saying for a while now, eventually, someday, at some point, it's either going to be canceled and or allowed to expire. We don't know when that's going to happen, but it's going to be an ugly situation when that actually does. This is just going to be one of the ramifications of that, as in millions of people losing their Medicaid coverages. And then on top of that, we also do know that SNAP beneficiaries, again, about 41 million people who are enrolled in SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, will also be getting their benefits reduced at that point as well, because the extra allotments will no longer be going out at that time for about, what is it now? 25 or 30 states or something like that, as of right now, are still sending those out. So yeah, right? Anyway, you can kind of see the differences here and what's going on. But anyway, this was just pointed out with these couple reports here that I'm citing and the different statistics they are pointing out here. But they're anticipating the rolls on Medicaid to continue to increase as long as the public health emergency declaration is still in place. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on this, but I wanted to bring this to your attention because I do know for a fact there are a lot of you here in the community that are low income and fixed income beneficiaries, and you're enrolled in Medicaid. And like I said, if this is your situation, you probably don't have a whole lot to worry about, but it's going to be some major changes when the public health emergency declaration is eventually canceled and or expired. Anyway, kind of some big reports coming out here, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. So again, I'll keep you posted on this. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Thanks so much for watching this. I appreciate it. And enjoy your day. I'll catch you again later in the next video.